Hey everybody, I'm Heidi from Hands Occupied here with another knitting video for you today. In this video, we are tackling Intarsia, specifically tips for vertical and diagonal joins in doing colorwork knitting in Intarsia, because they're very common and there's a couple things to keep in mind to get the best tension in your finished result. Let's dive in. In Intarsia knitting, changing between one color and another is referred to as a join. You'll encounter a few different kinds of Intarsia joins depending on the pattern you're knitting. There's joining a new color to start knitting a section in that color, and there are vertical, diagonal, and horizontal joins. This video will focus primarily on vertical and diagonal joins, but here's a quick tip about horizontal joins. A horizontal join doesn't really exist in Intarsia because at that point your technique is essentially the same as working a row of stranded colorwork, also known as Fair Isle knitting. You'll work with floats, which are the strands of unknit yarn that run across the back of your knitting when you're knitting with more than one color in the same row. With any stranded knitting, the trick is to avoid over or under tensioning your floats so the stitches on the right side of the fabric appear even, without puckering. Vertical and diagonal joins happen all the time in Intarsia. Vertical joins occur when several different rows joins align, well, vertically, on top of one another for several rows. On right side rows, which are usually comprised of knit stitches, you'll knit in your row until it's time to change colors. Then, you'll drop your working yarn, bring up the new color from underneath the old one, and continue to knit in the new color. Since this is a vertical join, the time to change colors will be obvious. Observant knitters who've tried Intarsia before may have noticed that their end of row stitches end up a little bigger than they'd prefer, and this phenomenon is especially obvious on vertical color changes. I'm going to slow down this video of my vertical join here to show you what I do to achieve more even vertical joins. See how I manually tighten the loop of the stitch when I'm about to change to a new color? If you think of the blocks of color you're knitting as unique little swatches or projects onto themselves, this kind of makes sense. You know how, especially when you learn to knit, you often have to confront the edge stitches of your rows being uneven, usually too loose? That's kind of what's happening here, since we're not holding tension on that second color of yarn until we switch to it. Tightening it ever so slightly to the needle before working the vertical join helps alleviate the excess yarn at the join, giving us a crispier line between our colors. I didn't learn this technique anywhere, I just noticed I started doing it in my professional knitting work, and I kept getting asked what the secret was to good Intarsia tension. And there's no secret, there's just a little bit of a tug and your best judgment on tension. In a vertical join on the wrong side, you'll purl or work according to your pattern until you need to change colors. Next, drop the working yarn and bring up the new color from underneath the old one, prepared to work the next stitch. Diagonal joins are worked very similarly to vertical joins. They're both just Intarsia joins, but being aware of their differences can result in better tension in your finished knitting. And with Intarsia, tension is really important for achieving the finished design. Rather than occurring in a straight line, diagonal Intarsia joins are offset, often by just a few stitches. The main thing to keep in mind is not over-tensioning your working yarn. A trick I use, especially if I'm worried about a particularly wide diagonal join, is borrowed from two-handed stranded colorwork knitting. I work the diagonal Intarsia join, then I grab the dropped yarn with my right hand pinky as if to tension it for knitting throwing style. That opens up the little Intarsia float in the new color, which can help with tension. Wrong side joins on the diagonal are the same thing, but are often worked in purl stitches. Once again, you work to the color change prescribed in your pattern, drop the working yarn, and then bring the new color yarn up from underneath the old. And that was a couple handy tips and tricks to improve your vertical and diagonal joins in Intarsia colorwork knitting. If you've got any questions for me, go ahead and reach out in the comments. Give us a like if you liked what you saw, and subscribe for even more knitting videos. I've been Heidi. Thank you so much for watching.